Happy hump day, happy Wednesday, and all of that. Happy hump day, Wednesday, midweek. Welcome to Dating Diaries. I am one half of Dating Diaries, Crystal XO. And you guys know the other half of Dating Diaries is, of course, oh.
What's up, baby?
No. Okay. All right. Okay.
But I can't get you. I can't. The audio don't play until I get on the screen.
Well, and as long as you have as long as you get a hand clap.
Hey, I still got this for you though. Huh. It's not playing now. Mind your business. Not that one. Not that one.
We've heard that one.
No. I had an XO thing.
Okay. I'm making my own. I'm gonna come over there and make my own because this is ridiculous. What's up, C Boogie? Welcome, chat. Welcome to another Wednesday, another Dating Diaries. Hopefully, everybody is having a great week so far. It has been so hot. I don't even know how to explain how hot it's been in Atlanta lately. It's either oppressively hot or raining. There's no in between.
I saw your the show yesterday. I saw a little bit of it.
Did you?
You was glowing. I
had yesterday. I did that, but I had Fox earlier that day. I am trying since I've come back to the States. I have been trying to summons that Sardinia energy. And it's left me, but I'm trying desperately to hold on to it.
Okay.
I'm trying to hold on to just the lightness, the happiness, the peacefulness that was there in Sardinia. So, but I really enjoy, I'm really enjoying King's Court. I'm really enjoying King's Court.
I mean, it's eye candy for the ladies. Why wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, but also, but additionally, we talk a lot about just men being often just focusing on looks a lot. But on that show, it's been good for me to see men that want something more than just a pretty face. That has been very refreshing.
Yeah, after you done ran through a bunch of them and you're getting older, of course.
Right. But I mean, true. And I do understand that those men have had enough beautiful women to where it's not a big deal.
That's why those guys, you had made that comment before when you had said the guys who had experience, like those are the guys that are probably more likely to settle down because they done went through all that. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, but I will say a lot of times we do see people that were able to run through everybody and they still want to keep running. So I'm still gonna give them credit for maturing in some way. And we've seen some great just feedback from men. So I want to say that. I'm always want to say I love seeing a different side of men than we usually see in entertainment. Because there's a lot of great men, but most of them are not on TV. And they're not on reality shows, right? So it's good to see. But we got a good show for you guys today. But before we get into all of that, I'm not going to make this a big thing, but it's still bothering. The whole Malcolm Jamal Warner thing still just is bothering me. It's still bothering me. How are you handling just that?
It's every time I see the post and they do the birth date and the death date, it's a little eerie.
Yeah.
Because we're born on the same year. And when I see that 70, and I'm like, wow, this brother is like, and then it's kind of like somebody you grew up with. You know, I saw an old clip today of him on Fame, the television show Fame.
Yeah.
And just seeing that and seeing his evolution from, being a director, and his voice changing. It was like high pitched at first.
Yeah.
Same time I was going through it, and then you see that transformation into a grown man, and then you like I think I had a conversation with you yesterday. You start to think about your own immortality. You should be like, wow, this brother, and he didn't even know, and you go through that. So, my heart goes out to his family, man, and it's just no way you could prepare for that on a vacation. And
yeah. And then today we found out, I almost like don't want to know anything else. You know what I mean? Like we found out that he was actually swimming with his daughter, his 8-year-old daughter. The daughter is fine. She was rescued, but he was there with his wife and his daughter.
No more oceans though. When they told me show me, I'm done with the ocean. Not that I go like that anyway, but
yeah.
I'm cool on that.
Yeah, I think, and I saw some idiots. I detest people that use death as a clout chasing thing. So there's like people, posting their pictures with him and all that stuff, and then I saw a guy saying everyone needs to learn how to swim. And if you know anything about the ocean, how to swim has nothing to do with the ocean. That is nothing to do. Like you can be a Olympic swimmer and drown in the ocean. Currents, just ignorance. But I think I'm like you. Like I've had a bad experience in the ocean several times. Snorkeling. Gun Boss and I went snorkeling last year for our birthdays, and that was a horrible experience. The current was very choppy, and the people still went out, took us out anyway. I ended up on the life. I think I told you guys, I stayed on the lifeboard the whole time. And the girl was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm staying here. I'm staying right here on the lifeboard." It's not about being able to swim. But anyway, I don't want to go to it. It's just still bothering me. And it's just, I know we've talked about it, and it's just heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, and Ozzy Osbourne as well.
Yeah. Now that one, I hope this doesn't sound bad. He was an older gentleman, right? And he's had a full life. And I ain't gonna lie, I was surprised Ozzy was with us as long as he was. No disrespect. I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's different when someone is of older age and they have, yeah.
Yeah. He
was 76 years old. Still very too young, but I ain't gonna lie, he did so much drugs, and I was surprised he was still here.
I got a question. If you had the perfect person, I mean perfect.
No such thing.
But perfect for you.
Okay.
I mean, what you like to see, this is anybody. It's not really directed to you, obviously, because you're
okay. Yeah.
And then somebody says you could spend 15 years with this person and you can have the most amazing relationship, and then it's over. Or they tell you you can spend another 50 years on this earth, but you won't find that.
Mm. Ooh. I mean, that's a good question. I don't even know the answer to it. I mean, I know for me, but I'm learning every day. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I think 15 years with a person that makes you happy is unbelievable, right? I think you're lucky, right? But I also think that I also think that we have to be okay with being alone. You know what I mean? Because you don't know. You just don't know. I think, people, we came into this world by ourselves. We're going to go out by ourselves. So you could get married to the perfect person. They could die. You could get married to who you think is the perfect person. They can wake up one day and decide, I don't like you no more. Like, it's so many different ways that you can end up alone. And so I think my thought process is that we definitely have to be okay with finding our happiness. And I think it's okay. And I actually encourage you to want to share your life with someone, because life is hard. But I also think even if you do find someone to share your life with, you always have to be aware that that person, I mean, look, Malcolm's wife is now a widow, so there's no guarantee that you can have that. But I definitely think 15 years with a good person, I mean,
like the best relationship ever. Sex, going out, like the top, like it can't get no better than this.
I mean,
because some people never get that. Some people get it for 2 years, whatever.
I think that no relationship is going to be like happy for all 15 years.
But that's the point of the thing. It's just like you do get that, but
I can't even imagine. I don't know.
You do get that, and it's no 7-year whatever. You just get this thing, or you just say, you know what? You get another 50 years at it. Now,
I wouldn't want to live. I don't want the 50 years. I'm good on. There are a lot of people that want to be here till they're like in their. I tell God, whenever He's ready, I'm ready. I don't need to. I mean, I feel like for me, my reason for living has been like, I want to impact people in a positive way. I want to, make sure that my loved ones are okay. I just don't need to be here. I really wanted to get to where my kids were good. That was a big part of me, and now that my kids are good, yeah, I'm kind of like that kid that's like, whenever you're ready, I'm good.
Hey, you won't be alone. You won't be lonely, but you won't be. They give me that. I'm holding out for 50 years. I'm going to have a ball.
Yeah, I'm not. That's crazy to me. I cannot imagine being here for 50 more years.
Oh, hey. You get your health and you're amazing 50. Hey, man.
This world is horrible. Like, I remember going to see my grandmother's friend when my grandmother passed away, and she was sad because she was like, all her friends are dead. You know what I mean? Like,
Now that's the other side. We don't think about like the details, right? So it's a tough decision to make, because you could be 50 years in prison and for 30 of them. You know what I'm saying?
True. It is ghetto here. It is definitely ghetto here. It's definitely ghetto here. I agree. It's ghetto just on this planet. But yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I think everyone has a different, what makes them happy is very different. I wanted to talk to, well, first of all, let's do something fun to lighten the mood. There's a new app out that is getting some waves. It is called T. The new app called T that allows women to share warnings and experiences about men in their city. And it's funny because I saw that today. They talked about it on the Breakfast Club, and then you sent it to me. But I had seen it earlier. But I also tell you guys, I'm in this Facebook group called, let me pull it up because I pulled one to read to give you guys an example. I'm not downloading the app because I just, sometimes less is more. But the group that I'm in on Facebook, there's a couple of groups, and it's like it's basically the same thing, but these groups are supposedly private, and they are I dated him, don't date him, sis, is this your man? Like, it's a few of them, right?
That's the one I was on.
But every day there are at least 20 men posted in these groups, and I want to know what the chat thinks, because thank you, Karen. It's like people like the bun. I'm struggling with the locks right now. I'm just in a transitional, so I probably am going to be putting them up because I don't know. I'm struggling, but thank you for saying that, Karen. But every day there's at least 10 men posted in these groups where women decide that they share stories. Now, I read them for entertainment. It's my guilty pleasure because it's hilarious. Some of them, I mean, we don't know. There's no way to know if these things are true because there's just no way. There's no way. Sis, is this your man? But what I do notice is that a lot of times what the women get mad about is not necessarily, like this woman was on there yesterday. I think I told you this. And she was mad because she had been intimate with this guy and she sent him a text asking him to get her nails done. And he said no. And so she was telling women to beware because he was broke. And I was just like, that's not really, first of all, sis, why were you intimate with somebody before you figured out what you wanted from him? Like, it's just that doesn't make him a bad person. But the groups are out there, and I don't know if that's I really don't think it's hurting men's game. I think it probably is helping them, because I think a lot of times there's a guy posted that's very attractive and other women will be like, who is he? Where is he at? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think women really listen to each other's opinion about men. But I'm going to read one just so that everyone can get a gist. If you haven't been on the site and if you don't have the app, I'm going to give you a couple of of examples of what you could come across. This one was from Don't Date Him, Sis. And it is not in the area that I'm in. So it's not Atlanta. This is not a man in Atlanta. But it has his name. I'm not going to say his name, but the post has his name and his picture.
That's the foul part. Both of those two.
Name and picture.
That's not cool.
This right here is blank. And he's a manipulative liar, pants on fire. That is literally what it says. We dated for a while on and off. A month in, he claims his child was sick and in the hospital 2 hours away. So I took him to the hospital. Turns out the whole time he went to the hospital to see his new son being born. He never mentioned having a child on the way ever till I found out myself. He denied his child, which is corny. He will lie till his teeth fall out. His hygiene is at an all-time zero. He doesn't brush his teeth or wash his ass and wonder why he's not getting no playtime. Was effing his baby mama while he's with me. He's just disgusting. Okay. Couple of things with this post. First of all, if he really did tell her that his child was sick in the hospital and had her drive him to the birth, that is diabolical. If that did happen, that's wild. That's wild. Second of all, his hygiene is at a zero. He doesn't brush his teeth or wash. But he was having intimacy with his baby mom while he was with me. Ma'am.
See them saying? On, man. Off and on, she said.
She said off and on. Off and on. And if he was all these things, why were you with him off or on? Why were you ever with him? Ever?
This is why you can't believe this stuff all the time. Because you will find holes in it. It's not hard.
It does. I mean, I do feel like the men have a point with that, because there's too many of these pages where the story just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Like, if he was all these bad things, why were you with him?
It's all like that. All of a sudden, the first time he doesn't want to pay for something, he's broke. If I go to a woman and I want to sleep with her the first night and she says no, then I just go around telling people her vagina stinks. You see what I'm saying? This is how childish this is. And this is, and they putting, now if you change the name and you didn't put a picture, that's one thing. But to put a picture in the name, and that's why I don't trust none of them sites. I was on one. What is that? Is this your man trying to see if I was really talking to somebody? And somebody reported back to me, and they was like, he was telling it like, this is ridiculous, man.
So this is ridiculous. This is foolishness. I don't know. I mean, sometimes I don't know. I don't know. There have been a lot of them on here that I'm like, I don't know if it's true, but if it is, it's a problem. Here's one more. Again, it has the guy's picture. That's crazy. I met him on IG. He's been in my inbox for the longest, which is why I kept ignoring him, because I just wasn't ready to talk to anyone. Met him over the weekend via IG, decided to give him a chance. However, I blocked him by Monday. Said his name was blah, blah, blah from blah, blah, blah. As you can see, he flipped like a switch because I was busy. To be honest, I wasn't feeling him, and he gave a love bomber right off the bat, asking if I could cook for him and giving me these cheesy nicknames, asking to come over, saying he thinks I could fall asleep in his arms. Big turn off because he's still a stranger. And then there's
that's a little bit more
text messages. There are some text messages. So he said, if you ain't want to F with me, BITCH, you could have said that. What the F was your purpose? And she said, I did a double. I can't be on my phone during work. And I feel like I told you that. And he said, you didn't tell me nothing about you doing no double at work. You've been ignoring me since the other day, actually. You said you was with your nieces and nephews. Like, and then he said, then she says, well, I was, but I had to go to work. Then he says, okay, I apologize, boo. I'm sorry for real, but I just like communication, and it seemed like you were ignoring me. Right. And then she said, maybe you need someone who can give all their attention to you. And then he said, all right, F you then, BITC.
Now this is legit.
F you, give me your number for you, BIT. You ain't that busy in the world. Your petty ass excuses you're making. Whoa.
Now this one.
He says, go die. What?
Now he's a foul brother, but let me ask you this: putting it on this site does what? Different people bring different results. Somebody might love the move fast, just like I don't understand why I put it on the site. Tell your girlfriend.
I mean, I think they put it on the site because I think that a lot of times men are lying to women. Like, I've dated a man that was married and he did not tell me he was married. And I told you I could have gotten jumped in like that would have been if I'd been because we dated publicly. I don't understand what maybe he was trying to get me hurt. I don't know. But we went to a lot of public places. He had no problem dating publicly, and he was married. So if his wife or one of his wife's friends saw us out and jumped me, I wouldn't even have known what was going on. Like, you see somebody sitting at dinner with your husband, that may make you want to be, to get physical. That's very dangerous.
1,000%. But still, why is it on the site? Why you?
I'm explaining. So maybe people are trying to warn other people when men are just lying. Like, if I could warn other women about that guy, I probably would have.
Now y'all want to stick together, but as soon as one of these women do some other stuff, they'd be like, see, this is why I don't trust women. Like, they band together when it's against men, but when it's woman to woman, then they separate. It's crazy.
How are we supposed? I mean, okay, so you say, you guys let me know in the chat. Hold on, let me know in the chat. Do you guys think these? That's a good one. Nova Business says, mind your business, Mo.
Oh, now it's she putting the business. What are y'all talking about?
You mind your business. I'm just saying, if women want to share, they should be able to.
See, y'all say, okay, I can't wait for this. But okay. But
I'm asking. I'm saying, put in the chat. You guys let us know in the chat if you think these apps, the new app T, and that app has more people downloaded that app than any other app in the last couple of days. Is that popular?
Messy.
Do you guys think those apps and sites and groups like this are necessary for the new age of dating?
Now, the moment we start doing it, all hell gonna break loose.
As soon as men start doing it?
Because you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the 80s and 90s when women had the platform, and like I was telling y'all, the Oprahs and what's the name. So now we got social media, and you're starting to hear men speak out, and then you'll get a dude like Kevin Samuels or whatever, and all these things, and then it's like, and then you know, just all this crazy stuff, and then the man passes and people clapping. Like, if men get the voice and start doing the same thing, then everybody gonna want this stuff to change. And that's my problem. I like tell your circle or whatever it is, but to take time and put pictures up when people don't know, like I think it is messed up if the brothers are out there doing. And I believe that last situation, by the way.
They are out there doing it. They are out there doing it.
No. I know for a fact they are, but at the same time, you're putting like the moment someone sues or does all this other stuff, like it's gonna be crazy.
Well, I don't think men will do it because I think men's goals are so different than women's goals. I don't think men would.
They're realistic.
Shots fired. He said men's goals are realistic. What are men? We're going to get into men's goals in just a bit. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Just put a 1 if you think these pages and this app is necessary. A 2 if you think that women need to mind their business and let men live.
Right. They tell me to mind my business, but they put it out there and I speak on it. Then they tell me to mind mine. It's like, what?
Hey, you tell us to mind our business. We just telling you to mind yours.
You're putting your business out there. Y'all mind your business.
No, we are putting it out there about him. There have been guys in these chats that are on the down low that women are putting out there, letting other women know. Okay, so there we've got, there's a Run That Back podcast. Of course, the Run That Back podcast said 2. Of course. Noah, why do you say 1.5? Tammy says she'll do her own background check.
Thank you.
Okay.
How many times, guys know this, you'll know a woman and you might have just said hi to her and kept it moving. Then she'll turn around and tell her girlfriend, oh, he tried to talk to me. You see what I'm saying?
That is true. But then there also are times when the person does try to talk to you. You just don't know. You don't know. We do not know. Here, let's try this one. One last one. If in case you're on the fence, AM, I got your 1. And thank you for giving us several ones, which counts as more than 1 vote.
Whoever gave several ones, you mind your business. We said 1.
What? It's so wait. All right, here's another one. Hey, everyone. I don't normally post, but I figured I would make a post to protect another woman from a potentially emotionally damaging situation. This is blah, blah, blah. He is 31 from and lived in Philly. He is very emotionally manipulative and will try anything and everything to get you hooked. He also lacks boundaries and doesn't listen when you instill them. And when you tell him about how unsafe he is making you feel, he will disregard and try to make it like you are doing something wrong. I will tread very lightly with someone like this because I think this could be signs of narcissism. Also, he is a licensed therapist. Stay safe out there, ladies. Now, see, with that one, she didn't really tell us anything.
I don't mind the stories. The photo and the real government names is crazy to me.
But the whole point is to try to help other women to...
No, just tell women to be smarter. How about that? Figure it out. Do your research. Do your background, ladies. This is the story. You don't got to put someone's photo on there.
I think that I don't know. All right, let's do people. I'm sick of people throwing the narcissist title around. That's crazy. That was not from the T app. It's from a page that's a little bit like the T app. The T app is wild, but people, I mean, basically they're women are putting men in a position where it's not gonna, y'all ain't gonna be able to do these lies. A narcissist has an exaggerated sense of self-importance. They believe they're special or unique. They require excessive admiration, and they have a sense of entitlement.
Every other woman I know. Every other one.
I would like to shoot at you.
Every other one.
That is me shooting at you because that was unnecessary.
It's true.
As every other woman is not a narcissist, just like every other man is not a narcissist.
Everything you just described, I can pick out the average woman in her social media, especially Instagram, and it's that. The stuff that they're talking about, them sitting up there admiring themselves all day, the stuff they telling them they need, and all of them, for whatever reason, think that they're a 10. That's everything you just...
You know why they think they're a 10? Scorpio Moe?
Why? Libra Christal.
First of all, my name is Christal XO, okay? But I'll be that Libra Christal. Because men be in their DMs and in the comments, mostly in the DMs, hyping them up. So if we think we're a 10, it's because y'all told us we were.
Wait for that.
I'm just saying that's what happens. Every single one of those women. A narcissist is envious of others and believes others are envious of them.
Well, I got so many haters. All the girls at the job hate me.
A narcissist behaves in an arrogant or haughty manner.
What? Come on, man. Come on.
A narcissist is preoccupied with fantasies of success and the perfect mate.
I'm a post. Fuck out. I can go on and on. I go on.
A narcissist takes advantage of others.
I need my nails. Come on, man. $60 is not enough for lunch. I need 200.
Oh my God, he is going. He is going in on.
Aren't these all the topics that we talk about?
I think it goes both ways, though.
Okay.
There are narcissistic men and women. But I think the word is overused.
It is. We ran that one in the ground. We did.
And I think most people don't really know what the reality of it is. I think they just use the word whenever a person does something that they don't like, then they're a narcissist.
I do know.
I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I'm kind of like Nola. I'm kind of like 1.5 on the groups because I think that men are great liars, but actually they're bad liars. I think that a lot of times men are able to get away with lies because they know to tell us the story that we want to hear. So I think when the guy that's attractive and has all these things going for him tells you things that you want to hear, it just makes us want to believe him.
Is he lying to you or are you lying?
Are you lying to yourself? I knew what you were going to say.
Right.
No, he's lying to me.
I mean,
I'm just accepting it.
Okay.
But if he says the lie, isn't he responsible for his lie?
1000%.
I could be responsible for being gullible if his words and actions don't align. But why do in dating? Why do people go so far out of their way to trick somebody?
I would say it's 70-30 tricks. 70 is tricks. I think there's
a lot of tricks.
No, I mean the game and you play all that, but I think a lot of times men, and it's hard for women to decipher the two, I'm really starting to understand that now. But there are a lot of men that really like women, and it'll sound like game when she heard it from 50 other men, and she don't even know the truth at this point.
Okay, so you said a lot of men just really like women.
No, I think a lot of times they're saying things because he likes her, and he wants her to get to like him, and he builds these things, but he does like her and wants to be with her, but he knows that the standards and the stuff that we talked about, she will only, and it seems like it's coming from a bad place, but he really does like her.
But if he likes her, but he's in a relationship with a wife.
That's part of the 70. I'm talking about the 30.
Oh, the 30. Okay.
30, the guy that actually does, and he might exaggerate his position at this job.
Okay.
Even, and this is going to sound harsh, even might not like the kid announcement. And I believe that brother was all wrong. But he might, be like, I only have such and such and only count the ones that's in his city, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, well, that's a character issue, no?
Yeah, but it still doesn't mean that he doesn't like her. He tries to put his best foot forward in this world. We try to, it's. I'm not saying this right, but there are men that falsify documents because they like her, not because he's trying to do nothing.
But okay, let me ask you this question. That is boy math. Thank you, C Boogie. It is definitely boy math. Let me ask you this: if a man lies to a woman, because lying about the children is wild.
It is.
But if he lies about the children to a woman, does he really like her? Because if you really like somebody, don't you want them to get to know you? Or does he just want her for the... Is that a genuine like if you're making up things?
No, I'm telling you, and just like y'all said, y'all, the woman thing, and y'all wouldn't understand, Mo, it's a man, yeah, you wouldn't understand, but yes, he could really like her.
Okay. So what is he thinking that's going to happen if that child, because it's kind of hard to hide a child.
He'll weigh it out, and hopefully we'll get to the point where she's so locked in, she'll forgive me, but I really liked her. I'm in this messed up situation. I know I say I'll be going to work, but
but that also could be like the same thing if he's in a marriage. I'm really unhappy, but I just really like you, right?
It very possibly could be.
It can. It's still wrong.
No, I'm not. Right is right and wrong is wrong. But I'm talking from his heart. Like, he could really like her and does not know what perfect, right woman, wrong time. And you trying to figure it out and see if you can do the two, and you play the game thinking you're going to win at the end, and you never do. It always...
They never do.
By the time it catches up to you, you're thinking she's going to, like, we're so locked in, she's not going to throw away 5 years, is she? Because of one, that's how the men think.
Yeah. You'd be surprised. Well, I that brings us back. I want to talk about another. You guys keep letting us know. That's a good question. Nola asked, and she sent a super chat. Let me put this up here. Mo and any other guys in the chat, C Boogie, answer this. How do you like someone and not want them happy? That's a great question. Well, give us the man logic.
Well, if I tell her the truth, she won't be happy. We're happy now.
No. If you tell her the truth, she won't want you.
Right. That's why I'm not telling her the truth.
But then when she finds out, you're going to hurt her. Why are you okay with hurting her later?
A lot of men see how women respond to other men that never leave. And we just feel like we're going to get her in that position where she's going to be so invested, she's going to talk, might pack her bags, might go over her sister's house for 2 weeks. But she'll forgive me and come back. I'm just telling you.
Okay, C Boogie has explained it a little bit better. He says you can like a woman and be selfish as well. And that would be a narcissist. Right?
Yeah, I guess.
Nola says you look out for anything that you love, anybody or anything. You would think that, but I'm assuming that man logic does not go that way. Martell. Tammy said Martell. Martell is a great example. Did he like Melody?
I can't wait to Friday, boy.
Did he like Melody?
Yeah, see what I'm saying? Did he like it? He loved her.
But he was dead ass wrong.
Yeah, it don't make his love any less. It
does make his love is toxic. You don't love somebody and okay, Mo.
Yes.
C Boogie. I'm trying to remain objective. How do you love someone and leave them and go love someone else?
Did he love someone else, or was he with someone else?
Well, he's obviously in love with this girl now.
After your first love goes out the way, you're gonna shift and try to put energy into that. We don't know how this is gonna pan out yet.
Do you think that a man can love two women?
Love, yeah. Be in love, no.
Okay. All right. Noah says, would you hurt your dog? I don't know that men are giving us the same benefit that they're giving their dogs because definitely.
Don't. I know we're not talking about pets and dogs. No. We're not doing that. No.
I'm just saying, if you love something, you don't want to hurt it, right?
Yeah, but I've seen women make sure the dog was straight, but not the man.
Well, now we flipped it, and now we're talking about something different.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
All right, let's do this. Let's talk about. I wanted to ask you real quick. I saw somebody else put in the comments. What do you guys think about the CEO that was caught with his chief of staff, the HR chief of staff, which is ironic, right? The HR chief of staff. What does everybody think about that? Do you think that he should have had to step down from a company he helped to create because of the affair? Let's get everybody's opinion. He stepped down, and I feel bad for his wife. I feel really bad for his wife. Andy Byron, and then what was the young lady's name? My goodness, Kristen Cabot. Andy Byron and Kristen Cabot were seen at a Coldplay concert, booed up. That went viral because they were on the kiss cam, and they were obvious with it. Like, if they had just stayed cool, they wouldn't have gotten in trouble. But the fact that they both went opposite ways and did all this, and there were other staff people with them there. Do you guys think that he should have had to step down, which he did? He stepped down, and there's a new interim CEO of the company that says they've got the company's went viral. It's the most business they've ever had. But in any case, I saw a friend of mine had a post that said, I am not going to step down from a company I founded because I was cheating. This will have to just blow over. What are your thoughts, Scorpio Moe?
I feel that same exact way. Bill Clinton didn't step down from being the president. I don't recall that. I don't recall Martin Luther King Jr., the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., pardon me.
Reverend Dr. Martin.
Stepped down from, I don't recall him losing any marches or anything of that nature.
You didn't see him step down from the leader of the civil rights movement?
He did not do that. So what I'm saying is that doesn't affect, only step down for something that affects you from being a leader or in the head to doing your actual, morally, is it wrong? Let him and his wife sort that out. You're getting in the family business. Now, she should be fired because that's unethical. She's HR.
Are you kidding me?
If it was a man, HR say the same thing.
So the person who is the leader doesn't have to follow the rules
No. If he was just an employee, he helped start the company. It's a little bit different.
But doesn't a leader require more responsibility?
If it doesn't, that's not in his job title. She's HR. That's her job, is to govern the people and keep the rules and fair and balanced to everybody.
You don't think it would cause a conflict for the company if she was fired but he stayed on?
Hey,
that's wild, Mo.
We doing business. It's business. Is the company doing good? Look what the company's doing right now, the fact that they got caught.
But that's not because of him.
No, but she is supposed to hold up the ethics, not him. He's supposed to abide by it.
No, as the leader, you exemplify the ethics.
Listen, I started this motherfucking company. Y'all can't. That's the only reason.
Let us know what you think. I mean, in order to lead, you have to set an example. And you have created a horrible example. You have disgraced the company. The shareholders are looking at their money like, what is going on? You have disgraced the company. You don't think that is a conflict of interest for the business of the company?
They're doing big business now. Nope.
but he's not in charge. He stepped down because he realized that could be a conflict.
Yeah, I'm not. They're going to have to fire me, get rid of me. I'm not stepping there.
But the fact that you're going to fire her and not him is wild.
They're going to fire her. I'm not going to fire her either.
Well, she's not going to fire herself. She would be the one that would need to fire the person. Well, she ain't going to fire herself.
Her boss would have to fire her.
I would think that because a company, even though you can start a company, but at the point that you get that much money, you answer to other people, and you have created a distraction that is going to take the focus off of our business and put it on something else. So you are bad business.
I can't tell. If
you're bad for business.
If you told me they lost business, I would say so.
That remains to be seen, Mo.
You just said
they're viral because the name of the company. The funny thing is, I remember seeing this an astronomer. I thought he was like an astronaut. It's not. The company's name Astronomer, and they do like AI stuff. But I didn't know. I just saw astronomer and I thought it was like a real.
I hope he left with a nice. They should pay him a couple $, if anything. If you,
I'm sure, but I just wonder, does it affect the workplace if there is? Hey you there, says the fraternization policy. Why do we have fraternization policies in place? Because it does provide a distraction.
Yeah, and then when you go into the other person, now that's true. It does. I'm not gonna lie about that. It does. I've worked at jobs where those were rumors of people higher ups, and you hearing these things. Christmas party always tells.
That's one of the things, but I think that I'm torn, guys, because I feel like there are a lot of people who cheat at their job. It is probably the biggest. That's the place people cheat mostly because you're with people at the job more than you're probably at home. If you have a standard, typical job, you probably spend more time there than you do at home. And I think that in a lot of places you have people that you work with that you spend a lot of time with, and maybe you find things you have in common with them.
Can I tell you this? For two single people, it's one of the best places to meet somebody.
But unfortunately, a lot of times it's one single person.
Right.
But this was two married people, which I think is the best cheat.
Now, if you're going,
I think that's the best cheat. If you're married, you should cheat with someone else that is married. Because if you cheat with someone that's not married, that person has nothing to lose.
Something to lose. I get it.
That person has nothing to lose, and they're probably going to blow up your spot.
Eventually, yeah. Especially if
with a man, he will only blow up your spot if he really likes you, which is really hard for that to happen with you having a husband. But there are men that have like the savior complex, and they want to save you from your bad marriage, and they will stick around. But most of the time, if a man is cheating with you and you're married, he probably does not really respect you because he knows that you're cheating on your husband.
Yeah, you can't, like, any dude that will fall for, you got to watch that dude. That dude is not, he start talking like he's really trying to save you. He might.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they'll end up trying to kill that part. Like, it can get ugly. Affairs, I'm not condoning affairs at all, but I am saying that, when people do have them, it's better to be with someone who also has something to lose.
Here's the thing, like, and I picked up years ago.
Okay, hold on. Blondie says, my ex cheated with the chick that he worked with. He remained with her after the divorce. Oh, it didn't work out the way he thought it would. Big surprise.
Never does.
It never does. That's why as much as Martell is trying to make this seem like it's going to work, 9 times out of 10, it just does not work.
Because you see her as an object. You don't see her, it's almost, I hate to say it, it's almost not like she's human.
Jesus help us.
She's just this thing. That's how it go. I'm just being real. It like you see it, got feeling, it's human, but she has this purpose, and that's what it is. And when you try to slide it to another slot, you have to recondition yourself. And most dudes, especially of his age, they're not doing that.
Andrea says, I worked at a place where before my time, the executive director, who was male, started dating his executive assistant, female. The board made them both leave or break up. They left and got married. I wonder if that stayed together. I don't really think it's like if people are single, but I guess it does cause other people to feel, because whoever a person is laying down with at night is who their loyalty is gonna be towards, as far as on the job, right? So if I got a boss and he's managing 5 employees and I'm sneaking in and dealing with him after hours, I'm probably going to have a advantage over the other people on the team. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why in the workplace it's frowned upon, because it's unfair.
Let me give everybody a thing. It all starts with lunch.
What do you mean? Don't go to lunch?
First is not going to lunch. Someone pick you up something from lunch. What you want? And then she goes to give him money. Let me cash it. I got it, Karen. I got it.
You're giving us the anatomy of the workplace affair?
Yeah, then it builds up to going together. I've seen situations where people leave the house, stay in the night, and be like, you leave first. It gets in my job, there are 2 divorced couples and 3 married couples. Well, yeah, 3, yeah.
How do the divorced couples handle it?
I know it seems awkward when I'm in the space with them, and especially one in particular, because one I didn't know was divorced, and then one is in my face all the time, and I just feel awkward because I'm cool with him, but someone else told me, they was like, they used to be married, right? I was like, what? And then they had a son that died during COVID.
Oh, you know what? A lot of times couples break up, which is crazy. A lot of times couples break up with very hard things like that. Whenever a child is lost,
they were divorced before that.
Oh, well, then that's not, but that happens a lot of times. And cancer, because you guys know I'm a survivor, and I did a lot of therapy with a cancer survival group, and a lot of people get divorced, specifically, wives that have cancer, because it's something that the husband cannot fix. And when there's a lot of times you don't know how to fix it, it can be bad. Hey, there's when I was working at a top research university, they uncorked this new zero fraternization, even among lab mates. Now, if you know how colleges get down, nepotism is heavy. I was, I guess, shocked. Yeah, I mean, I don't think a 0% fraternization is even realistic, because you spend so much time with people. I don't know I guess you just have to hide it. I thought it was weird when Fannie, the DA, brought on the guy, and she was sleeping with the guy, and then she put him in position to make like $1 million as they were doing research to try to have Trump impeached. It's just kind of crazy, because it's hard to believe that she actually made sure that he was someone that was qualified, because they were
right.
They were doing the oochie coochie.
Right. But the
trying to figure out how to say it without saying it.
She knew some of that money was going to kick back. It was dumb but smart.
Yeah, and they stayed together, and nothing has happened. Hey. Interesting. Let us know if you're watching this on the replay. Let us know what you think. Do you think that the CEO should have been forced to step down? Both of them. His wife went into hiding. I can only imagine. I ain't gonna lie. I would just move. That's just so humiliating. I don't think cheaters know how humiliated their partners feel when it comes public. It's just really embarrassing. Let's move on to our next topic. I have another topic. I want us to talk about this conversation between Gucci Mane's wife, Kesha Kaoir, and Carlos King. Hold on. I thought I had it here. I gotta have to pull it down. So there was a conversation. We had a conversation on this channel a little while ago, and I asked people, do you prefer that a person wants you, or do you prefer that a person needs you? And everybody says wants. They don't want someone that needs them. But I'm going to actually say, and I wanted to say it that night, but I stayed quiet, and I was like, but you know what, guys? I think the opposite. I think that in many cases, it is beneficial, or can be beneficial. You get to a point where if you don't need the person, like like once you've been with someone for a really long time, right? If you don't feel like you need your significant other, I think that could be dangerous. I think that at the end of the day, we all want to be needed. And when the person doesn't need you, I think that sounds great, but I think in a perfect world, this is just my opinion, and we can, I'm okay if people don't agree with it. In a perfect world, you really do want your significant other to feel as though they need you, because if they don't, you could be on borrowed time. If they feel like their life would be just as full and just as happy without you as with you, I don't know. You may want someone that needs you. That's why a lot of times you find, I heard so many men told me when I was single, well, you don't need a man. A lot of men told me that, like, you don't need a man. They wanted a woman that they felt like they would be needed with. And I think that, it sounds good to say I don't want that, but I think we really do all want to be needed.
I think
in some way.
Needed by the person that wants me. If you come in and you need me when you come in, you first.
Right. No, I said after you've been with the person.
Yeah. But I think we were just talking about initially being with the person is from a desire of wanting to. If you, even in business, if you got two people, I'm never going to know how you really feel because you need me. You're never going, I need you. But when we both don't need each other and we still want to be here, that's based on desire. I'm rocking with that.
But then at some point, do you start to need that person?
I need the person I want. Yes.
And the person that wants me.
Right.
So if at any time that person decides they no longer want you, then you want them to say, I'm out.
Absolutely.
That's fair. I want to play this clip by Kesha Kaoir, and then let's get into it.
I know I said this when he first came out of prison. I would bathe him and whatever. I don't bathe him no more. But I used to bathe him. Now I still cook for him. Only thing Gucci got to do is shower. He don't got to do nothing else. I do everything for that man. But not because I have to do it. I want to. I enjoy taking care of him. I enjoy him just being happy and going to the studio and doing music. I don't want him to worry about the bills, worry about what he got to eat, worry about nothing. That man, all he got to do is bathe child and go do his shows and go to the studio. That is it. The wife takes care of everything else, and I love doing it. And if I don't do it, I would be miserable.
Why do you think you'd be miserable?
Because I want to take care of my man. I don't want nobody else to do it. I want you to pay so-and-so to do this. A chef, I cook for him. I buy his clothes. I do everything. And I want to keep the money at home. The thing is, when you have a man, you want... I treat Gucci so good. Like, I know I said this when he first came out of prison.
She, this sounds a lot like Jazzy's conversation of I just want to be a servant to the man. And I will say this. I listened to that, and I think that sounds like she wants to do all those things because she's made herself an integral part of his life to the point where, and he's, very, very wealthy. So I don't think the ship could probably run the same without her there. So maybe the intent is different. And I think even with Cam Newton and Jazzy, I don't know, but it just feels like in those situations, it seems like the women are saying I will be a servant to him because it's worth it to me, right? The payoff is worth it. But I wonder if, and I have a friend that told me that she bathes her man and all this. I wonder, do men really want women to be their servants like that? Because the older I get, the more I think men really do want us to be their servants.
I believe that there are some brothers that do think that way, and a lot of it comes from their mother was their servants. That's one. Two, culturally, she's from Caribbean descent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of those women feel like, well, if his job is to protect and survive, my job is to take care of the person that protects and provides. You know what I'm saying? So
okay, so let's talk about, what does protect and provide mean now?
Well, that's funny because I hear more from women saying that's what they want. I want to protect and provide it. And I'm asking that, what does that look like? I mean, financially, I can see I don't know. That's the question. I mean, obviously we know what provide is, but I could provide money. I could provide information. A friend of yours said something real profound to me. It was like, and he said, no, woman would accept your money, will accept your cars, will accept your lifestyles, accept everything but your opinion. You know what I mean? So when I
heard him say that,
I want to be protected and provided for. I just want to know why. That's not a bad thing. I get that's not.
Well, I think that Michelle says bathing a man is not servitude. That's love. It can be. It could be either or. I've done it out of love, but
the fact that you just said it uncomfortably.
I am uncomfortable saying it. I was thinking to myself, I'm sorry, Christal. I'm so sorry. Because I don't think so. Not unless, I don't know. I don't want to reference Gucci and Kesha because their situation is very different. But I wonder if, I guess, like I said, my question is, I just wonder if, because I hear there's a lot of conversation about new school and old school. Protect and provide. What I think of, really, I think we can take away protect, right? Because this is not the ancient times. I have never been at a party and needed a man to fight for me. I've never had that. Now, if you have, in the chat, let us know. But I don't need, I've been a single Black woman in these streets, and I remember going from being married, and I would be out late, and my ex at that time would be like, are you okay? Where are you at? Making sure that I was good. And I remember being single and thinking, oh, there's nobody to check on me. I'm just out here and anything could happen. And so but that's not protecting, that's concern, right? I don't know. We say protect and provide because it comes from a time when women were far more getting abused, far more than not. And I think the idea of a man that is not going to let something bad happen to you is what women are saying when they say protect. Like, I don't, will he let me get hurt? But I don't know that that's what couples are dealing with now. Women and men both carry, I mean, it's not like men are fighting unless you're, I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of protecting that's needed. I think the provide is, but I also think that a lot of women provide as well. So, even though men don't want a provider, they usually end up with one in today's world, because when we got these names of and duties, provide and protect and keep the home, it was very different, right? So now you got two providers, and then one person has to be the main provider or the breadwinner, and then the other person is a secondary provider. But I think that that's where we are. So it's kind of funny when I hear, I don't know that Gucci has to protect her.
I will say this. If I'm in the house with a woman and we're upstairs in the master bedroom and there's a noise going downstairs. Now the protection doesn't come every day, but then it does. And there's a bump and there's a sound. I'm not expecting her to go downstairs.
Yeah, but how often does that happen? I think
not about, but when it does. If we get into it and there's a parking space or a guy bumps into her or says something aggressive, just because my job isn't every day, it doesn't mean that that's not my job.
But is it a job if you never do it?
Yeah, do we pay insurance and never get in car accidents sometimes? Yes.
That came really quickly off the cuff. So so in the same token, there could be jobs that women have that they don't do all the time either, right?
But we got to eat every day.
We do have to eat every day. Hold on. I've got to, in fact, speaking of eating, I've got cabbage and things on the stove. I need to go check the stove. I'll be right back. I'm going to let you continue this conversation. I'll be 2 minutes, 2 and 2. Let me go check my cabbage.
Chat, what do y'all think, man? Like, it's just a situation where, because if she says she cooks every day, but I pay the bills, these lights are on every day. You see what I'm saying? The electricity, all these things, we live in here every day, and I paid it up, the mortgage or the rent up for 30 days. So because you don't think my stuff is visible and it's not an everyday action, it doesn't mean that it counts for any less. I covered mine for the month. You see what I'm saying? We got to eat every day. These clothes need to be washed, once a week or week and a half, or whatever the routine is in your crib. But don't think the man's job or what his titles are or his responsibilities are less every day because things don't happen. Because when they do happen and he's there, you're gonna be like, thank God you're here. So that's all I'm saying. I just don't want it to be a situation where if he's to pay for the mortgage, we live in here every day. It's paid up for 30 days. You see what I'm saying? Now, the job requires to cook, 4 times a week. That's not like, you know what I'm saying? But when my thing kicks in, it's in the clutch. We not home. This electricity we use every day. I paid it. So because it doesn't actively see me physically doing something every day, don't minimize what he does because of that.
But are you also, she's also paying bills too.
Well, in situation, we got to figure out who we talking to then, because it was like, I need a man to pay all the bills. Is he paying all the bills or he's not? If he's not, then say something, but don't, I think people flip-flop compared to the, according to their argument. I need a man to pay all the bills. If he's paying all the bills, then I don't need to hear nothing about no bills then. But if he's not, then say that, and we see the trade-off. These lights on every day.
Maybe he's paying the major bills, or it just depends on the couple. Because there's I think in most cases, I guess it depends on if the man is doing all the financial support for the house, or if the woman is. But I think a man can, the providing and protecting is just, I think is different than it used to be years ago.
Yeah, I mean, slavery times we sitting up there and the clan come and the man come out there with a shotgun holding down the house.
Yes, but a lot of these men, can I tell y'all something? I know this is just a little humor. I would think in provide and protect is like, to me, like take care, make sure the car is taken care of and that type of thing, right? Do you know how many guys cannot jump a battery, don't know how to jump a car nowadays? I was dating a guy and he messed up my car because he did not know how to jump it. So I'm just like, I think a lot of times it's different and you have to find what works for you. But I just still wonder, is the need part, but you explain that. We should start off not needing one another. But the more you're in a relationship with someone, you need them.
That part.
Okay. I like that. Because once a person brings value to your life and love, I don't want to say value, I want to say love. Once a person is bringing love to your life and they make you feel loved, then you should need that, right? If you don't need that, then you probably don't need them.
Thank you. But do you realize a lot of these conversations are starting with the end? Or
I agree.
At the middle, we didn't even get to the point of liking her. And she's saying, you should be doing this and you should be doing. We done jumped the whole part. That is reserved for someone I love, someone I'm into, someone we built something, a rapport again. They're already, you should be doing this for me. But I just met you.
I agree. But a lot of women are saying that comes with intimacy. So once I give this up, then
don't give it up.
I agree. There we go. We're on the same page. Renee says, protect my heart, protect my body, protect me emotionally. Asking you a objective question, Mo. Do you think that the majority of men today go into a relationship equipped or even with the understanding of how to protect a woman emotionally?
No.
Thank you for your honesty.
I think the closest we get is, man, this is gonna be tough. The closest we get is if you had a single mom and you seen her go through a lot. And if you never had that experience, and not every brother has, you don't really know. And it's on the job. It doesn't mean that he likes her any less or loves her any less. He's trying to figure it out, and he gets blamed for not knowing because that's not his experience. But it doesn't mean I don't love you any less. And that's where we get caught up. It's like, well, he don't know how to. That wasn't his experience. His parents were happily, when they went through stuff, they never seen him do it. He never seen this mother cry. Where was he supposed to get this training from? And we get charged for that. And it's like, but you don't know. That's not my experience. I'm sorry. I'm trying. I see your.
So what do you think? What do you think today's man is equipped to do in those three things that Renee said? Protect my heart, protect my body. And I started with emotionally. I didn't go to heart because obviously by the app and the pages, a lot of hearts are not being protected. But do you think that men come to the table today prepared to protect any of those things?
Be honest with you, I think most of us, unless you had, everybody's story is different, right? I think this background will tell you a lot about him and where he's at. Like, and this is everybody. This could be business. This could be love. This could be whatever it is. What you do, like where you're at, reflects on how you move.
True.
So if you see him and he's a grown man and he got roommates or whatever, you see his program. It's reflecting on not how he thinks, but you can think it and still not move, but it's both how he thought and how we move. We're products of our decisions. And he made them some decisions. And for him to get on the job training and trying to figure it out with you, I think that's where a lot of women get hurt at. And I think a lot of guys don't realize they're doing it, but they are doing it. And that's kind of foul. Ain't no kind of foul. It is foul. You know what I'm saying? You got to figure it out for yourself, homie, before you start bringing other people into this equation. Women, kids, whoever. Now, if you bumped your head along the way and you got kids or whatever, spare another whole person, her. And stop having more kids when you ain't figured it out yet. You bumped your head on this one. You had kids. You still ain't figured you out yet. Stop. We have to stop. And we need to, as men, start to talk to one another in this way. But we're not reaching back after we learn it and going back and snatching the other brothers and trying to tell them now it's uncle or the old head or all these things. But that's why I talk to older people. They have information. Have information. And
Renee says that we are not being fully protected in the most important way. I agree with that 100%.
We're not, and it's on the, like, we hear it.
We, not you. We.
No, but we hear it, but we don't, a lot of these young brothers, they don't, it's on the job training, especially the guys who get it the most have seen their mother go through some things.
But you know what's interesting? Everyone's interpretation of their experience is different, right? So there are men that have grown up, and a lot of men have grown up in a single parent family and still have not interpreted their mother's struggle to let me not put a woman through that. Because
True.
Because when you and I were talking, I was like, you know, if the woman is, say he makes a lot of money and the woman is just catering to him, you know, serving him all the time. A lot of times those single moms taught their daughters and just loved on their sons. So they actually didn't allow their son to see or experience their hardship because they were so busy just making things easy for them. So a lot of times those boys that grew up with a single mom, they expect a woman to slave and provide and protect for them because that's what they saw.
That's a great point. That's fair. I've witnessed it. I've seen friends of mine. You're right.
Yeah. Thank you, Mwadi. Hey, Mwadi. I haven't seen you in a minute. Emotional intelligence and maturity are increasingly lacking across both genders. I agree 100%. And I think that's, you know, what we ultimately try to do is try to show both sides, right? To show that I do think there are a lot of women demanding things ridiculously, but then I think there are a lot of men who are thinking that providing and protecting only pertains to bringing in a check. And that's not what that is. If you're protecting her emotionally, most of the time there's this idea, especially with Black culture, that you have to go through struggle before you get to the good stuff, right? And that struggle of, if he puts her through something, then he realizes, oh, she's a really good woman. And then he decides, but you have not protected her. You are the enemy. You have hurt her. And now she's sleeping with the enemy. And I think a lot of us are sleeping with the enemy and trying to figure out why it doesn't feel like, you know, if you feel like you're sleeping with the enemy, right? And that's if a man has hurt your heart. If a man has hurt your heart, he is not able to protect you emotionally and your heart because he's the one who has made the infraction against it. So it's very difficult for a woman to get into the mindset of nurturing and catering to someone that hurts her. That is a contradictory idea, period. And if a woman is catering to someone who is consistently hurting her, then she's probably doing that for the wrong reasons, which would be just financial reasons, right?
That's real. You can't fight. Yeah, that's real. That's real.
So I think that's one of the big things that happen. Linda, thank you so much for being honest. Linda says that's true. I think I handicap my sons that way as well. I think a lot of us do because we don't know what to do. If you're raising a child as a single mom, which I did for 10 years, my son I was married until he was 9, and then he left the house at 16. So I did not know what to do and it scared me. So I had, you know, I talked to guy friends, but he also was like, I'm tired of you trying to get your guy friends to talk to me. So I let my son leave early because I was so afraid of destroying him because I knew I wasn't able to give him that mask, that what a man needs. I couldn't give it to him. And as much as I wanted to, and I just couldn't. So I just let him leave. I let him figure it out on his own, and he did. He did.
Most men do. Can I tell you this? And this is what I noticed. Men will sit there and tell their daughters about what kind of guys to stay away from.
They will.
And then tell them, because I was like that.
Yes.
Women will tell their daughters, their sons, about women, but never say they was like that.
I mean, I wasn't like that, but my son, I think I told you guys, my son did tell me that I would not date. He said, Mom, you would not have dated me if you were in high school.
I'm not saying all women. I'm saying the women that are actually like that, because I hear a lot of women saying what they need, but they'll tell them their sons to avoid them. And they will never say, guys will say, yo, avoid this. I know because I was like that.
But can I tell, okay, and that's true, but can I tell you why? The difference is we still praise men being womanizers. We still praise that. We still think it's cool that men have multiple women and they play. That's just men being men. But we don't praise women. Women are looked at as, oh, she's a HOE or whatever. She's a garden tool. She's this, she's that. So in a culture that still rewards men for being womanized, of course it's easy for a dad to tell. I know fathers. I had a girlfriend growing up that had 5 sisters. and the dad couldn't make any boys. The mom and dad were married. The dad cheated on the mom all the time. The girls did not empathize with their mom. They felt like she should have been strong enough to leave, and they were crazy about their dad. And they watched the dad do this to the mom, because we live in a world that says it is okay for men to not protect women's hearts. We live in a world that says that's just what men do, boys being boys. Even mothers will tell their sons that they're going to be a heartbreaker. That's how crazy it is. Women will tell their son, don't commit to her. Don't commit to her. You don't have to do this. Knowing that they wish a man would have committed to them. So I think the problem is our culture. We're teaching our kids according to what the culture is. We need to teach them what's right and wrong. If a boy is sexually active underage, we should tell him that's just as wrong as if a girl is. No, you should not be out there sleeping around. But I know so many parents that if their son is out there doing it, they're okay. But if their daughter is out there doing it, that's a problem. And I think we have to change the double standard. But until we do, there's always going to be fathers sitting around with their daughters. Yeah, don't get with him because I was like that. Hell, in most situations, daddy is still like that. And the daughters know.
But I'm talking about the other side of it. The woman never tells.
Because society does not congratulate a woman that's using men or a woman that's doing anything.
You rent society raise your kids, or you raise they need to see it up close. Be like that now. But if you say
but I'm explaining why it's a double standard. Why it's a double standard. You said, why do women never say that? I'm saying because they can't. Because if you tell your son, I was a garden tool, that son is gonna probably be destroyed. But a girl hearing her dad say I was a hoe, it's not a big deal. I don't think a son wants his mom to say, son, I sure was sleeping with everybody in the. I think we just look at dads and moms different.
Okay.
Now maybe you wanted to. Now I don't know. Maybe there are men out there that want their mom to say that they were a hoe. I don't think that that's what men want to hear from their moms. I think girls don't want to hear from their dads, but it's accepted. And when fathers are hoes, it hurts the daughters. Trust that.
Okay.
But we make it seem like it's okay, and the dad doesn't feel bad about it because society says that's what men are supposed to do. I do think people can change, Kim, but I think they have to want to change. And I think in a lot of situations, if a dad is telling his daughters that he was a hoe and he's still a hoe, then he don't want to change. He's just telling them he don't want them to be hurt.
And even if he's reformed, the son don't know nothing about. The daughter don't know nothing about nothing. And he's just like, listen, baby girl, listen. The reason why I keep trying to tell you not to mess with this boy, I know this type. How I know? Because I used to be like that, and it took me to this age and these experiences to get to this point. Now, and he's only saying that to make a connection and to help. Now, on the other end, and I know what society says, but that's the problem. We let society raise our kids instead of us raise our kids. Now, I'm not saying a woman is. I'm just trying to tell you the difference and how men can go up there and speak the truth. And women even through social media and stuff today, a lot of times they're telling their sons to avoid how they are now. And then they want you to date them. And I was like, well, and that's what I had to learn. Like, I had to be someone that I would want my daughter to be with. And that didn't come easy. And if I never had a daughter, I'm not even sure if I would have got to it now. But that's the harsh reality. And I'm not saying you can't be sexual. Like, people have things and we're grown. I'm just saying as far as character is concerned, how someone treats you, that type of thing. And if women see that, they'll still be looking for the dude that they don't want their daughter, that part. And like I said, we all grow and we all have a past. Some of it cleaner than others, and it's not a problem. But I just think that I don't have an answer for it. I'm just saying that's just something I noticed. I don't have an answer.
Miss Hale says, I wouldn't want to know my dad was loose. It would have messed with me mentally. certainly don't want to hear about my mom either. I think that's the biggest thing. I think men don't understand. No child wants to hear that about any parent. Parents shut up with it hurt, protect your children, but when children have to watch the parent hurt other people, it doesn't fare well for that child, be it men or women, right? It's not. LaPearl Smith says, if a man is doing his part to protect and provide, it's easy to cater to your man, whether you work or not. I agree with that. I think a lot of it comes from, I think, just me as a woman speaking. I can't speak for the men. But most of the time, women don't feel protected, not physically, but emotionally and their heart. It feels very scary. So when a person is not protect, that's why most women, security is the biggest turn on for women, whether that's security from being safe, and that means your heart. That doesn't just mean
what does that.
So what does that look like? That's a good question. So I would say for me, if I could describe how I would like to be provided and protected, I would say, first of all, I want someone that makes me feel like I am their priority 100%, right? Not that I'm not clingy, so I don't need them to not have any other, if they have other children or whatever, it's fine. But to know that I'm a priority, I matter, my feelings matter. I want to, of course, as a woman, you want to feel like your man is very attracted to you. You don't want, do you know how many women are afraid that their man is cheating on them? It's very difficult to cater to someone that you're afraid of. And if you are afraid that person is going to hurt you, you have to keep your guard up. So you can't cater to someone and keep your guard up. I want to read you something this was such a powerful exchange that I had, and I think it may help the chat, and it may help women understand kind of put into words what I'm saying. I hope I saved this. There was a girl on, I hope I saved this, because I just feel like this was such a powerful exchange that I was like, wow, okay. Hold on. Such a powerful exchange. Okay, I got it. Okay. Basically, I want to find the first part of her post so that I can read the whole thing. Okay. Hold on. This was very powerful. Okay. The person said, I've had bad sex. I've had mediocre sex. I've had good sex, but I've never had great sex. Is this only something that I've experienced? And then I said, sis, I am believing for great for you. Your latter days shall be greater than the beginning. To me, the great has happened when I was truly at peace and felt 100% safe and adored by the person. And then, of course, he was a skillful man. I don't believe great comes with having sex. Great has only happened for me when I was making love, which meant that there was love, trust, and physical chemistry. And then she said, that makes perfect sense. I've never experienced that. This woman is in her 50s. I've never felt comfortable with any man. There was always some sort of insecurity happening within me based on how he made me feel inside or outside of the bedroom. Something he said or didn't say. His overt or cover complaints about how I act, my looks, my body, how I dress, my personality, etc. I don't have a clue what it feels like to be truly comfortable being myself with a man, which I think played a huge role in preventing me from ever having great sex. I have never felt 100% liked or accepted exactly as I am.
does that, here's the first thing that comes to my mind is that, like, people aren't bad people, or it's hard because everybody's different. It doesn't mean in his heart that he loves you any less. So it's like, I have to get to know you and we have to build our thing and to come to that. And it might not come to that, but it just seems like, for me, it just seems like she's saying, like, well, for me, and for, like, it's you and it's him, and he had his experiences, he meets you, and it might be great for him and not so great for you, or vice versa.
But I mean, no, I'm just saying, I'm not talking about the specifics. I'm speaking specifically to the point of providing and protecting.
No, but that's
the fact that this woman is saying in her 50s, she's never felt comfortable. She's never felt accepted. She's never felt comfortable with who she is and accepted for who she is. That is what is prohibiting her. And that's why a lot of women, I would tease my guy friends, and you've known that, like, because guys always think they're knocking it out the box. 9 times out of 10, they're not. But it's not because of the actual physicality of it. It's because of all this other stuff going on. You gotta cater to the unknown. We don't know. Like, think about it. That's like me. Like, I'm getting to know you. I'm liking you. It's developing, and I gotta figure out this mystery box. It's not a mystery box if you haven't hurt her, if you have made her feel secure, if you have not made her feel like she is gotta put on, like, really making somebody feel comfortable. I don't really hear, well, I don't know, because I'm not a man. Do you think that men feel 100% accepted by women?
No.
Okay. What are the things that you guys don't feel accepted about?
No, this is part of the lies. This is the reason why, part of the reason why they lie. It's the acceptance. You show up with this car, everything else can be right, and she don't like you. This is us constantly. This is like, and it's not to take anything for her. This is every day for a man. The right car, the right job.
But we're talking about the woman that you're with.
Even the woman, at that point, we're thinking, if you're with us, you're with us. Or else, why be with us? We're not sitting up there in the fact that, okay, once we got together, then that was the whole point of courting or dating, is to see if we can get to that space. But once we make it official, we're thinking we're good. She's not needing, she feels all the protection that she feels she needs. She needs to get. But for some reason along the line, it's like,
that's not true.
It feels like, as a man, sometimes when you hear it after the fact, it's almost like it's never enough. And if it was, then why wouldn't it? If it wasn't, then why did you accept it in the beginning?
Right. I think that it's kind of like how, when a man gets with a woman that he knows likes his car and his money, he's hoping that eventually she'll fall in love with him. I'm assuming. But I think that when women get with a man, it's the same thing. You're hoping that he's going to see those special things about you and make you feel safe. And no one gets with someone wanting to feel unsafe.
Right.
Nobody does that, right?
Right.
Either side. So I think that I just hope that, in nothing else, if we don't get any other point out, this is good dialogue. I think that men have to understand that providing and protecting is more than just money. It really is how you make her feel. And if you make a woman truly feel loved, I can only think of a few times in my life, very rare, that you've really felt loved and appreciated. And when that happens, a woman is able to, it's like a flower able to open up. And a lot of that nurturing and comforting and affection that men want could be, if they would learn what a woman needs, it may open the key to some of that.
I think being direct helps. But at the same time, it's like, we all bring in baggage, right? Do we agree with that?
We are. Yeah.
Okay, so if I met someone, if I met two women and they were there, maybe it's something I ended it or whatever, but they seem satisfied. I think, I don't know, it's custom made for her. Then I meet the next woman, she might require something. That protection, that safety varies.
It does, but you know what I think? I remember talking to this guy that I had a huge crush on, and he did not like me. But he told me, it's a guy that I liked a whole lot. You know who I'm talking about. And he was not into me. But he did tell me that women are trying to find that one man that sees them as beautiful, where men are taught to just get all of them. Like, get enough money to where you can run through all of the ones that you want. So let me finish what I'm saying. So I think in this conversation, what I'm hearing is that, oh, I'm saying I need him to learn how to make me feel that way. And men are like, we just want a bunch of women, so I just need to know what works for all of y'all. No, if she's worth it, you gotta be willing and vulnerable enough to work with her and figure out what works for her. Yes, it may take a lot of time, patience, it does. But a lot of men are really only looking at what works for women. Women. I want women. I want a lot of women. I want all the women. Well, okay, cool. But they're all different. So you can't really be a ladies' man if you have a bunch of ladies. That's really a contradiction, because a lot of ladies, you may know what to say to get in, but I promise you don't know what to do to unlock every woman has a different box, literally.
It feels like we know that, but you have to be patient. We know that. Well, like it's this general thing that we know, and then once we get to you, and then once we decide we like you, then, well, this is older men too, and hopefully the younger men get it, eventually get there. But then we start to make it custom made for you. But in the meantime, like you said, it takes time, and it feels like we get that rush because it's not all there when she wants it there.
I don't know that. I don't feel like it's a rush. I feel like for me, I just want to see that a man is really trying to learn and thinks I'm special. And I think a lot of times it's hard for a man to find one person special. And someone referenced, well, not Tyrese, Tyson on King's Court is a good example. Tyson just likes everybody. He likes everybody. There's a song that Lil Wayne has. I wish I could F every girl in the world. I want all of them. So with that mentality,
that's effing. That's not love.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we do some of the same things.
Y'all think that, and I can understand why. But when you really break down the nitty gritty, the guy, we can separate it. We might not talk about it as much, but we can separate it. We can.
But a woman, it's hard for a woman to separate it because you're doing the same exact act. But you want me to open up for that woman. You want me to open up and be able to really relax and trust, because I think trust is a big thing. Knowing that you can separate and do the same exact act with somebody else, that's very difficult to do.
And even when you say it, that I get it. But
Thank you.
This is the process. I don't know what to tell you. This is the process.
It's a process. I think it's welcome, and it is a process. It is definitely a process, and I think we just have to. The biggest thing is someone said we just have to be patient together. Nola said, why can't we be patient together? That's what we have to do. We have to be patient together. But that broke my heart to hear a friend of mine say that. But I also think she's being very honest. I know a lot of women that are in their 40s and in their 50s that have never really experienced a true orgasm. That's because they've not ever felt safe. And for women, it's really a lot more emotional, and that safety and security comes through in those times. So I think, going back to the point of tonight, we talk about providing and protecting. It is so much bigger than that. It's kind of like, like my dog, Sugar Pie. She's not in here anymore. She didn't come back after I checked on the cabbage. Sugar Pie, I feel like I do a good job providing and protecting for Sugar Pie. I'm attentive to her needs. I make sure she has everything. It's when you love something, you want it to be comfortable. You want her to be happy. You want her to be, and I think sometimes maybe it's a tall order. A lot of times men do not understand that a woman really in providing and protecting, I want him to care about how I feel. And a lot of times for men, it's like, oh, the emotion is, she'll get over that. I'm just gonna make sure she got the money. Even with children need more than just the money. They need to know that dad believes in me. Children get their confidence from their father. And I think sometimes women get their confidence from their man. If you look at a woman who knows her man is a hoe, she's usually a very insecure woman. Because she knows when she meets somebody on the street, she could have. Look at Angela Oakley on The Housewives. Bless her heart. She knows that Charles Oakley is out there knocking down stuff, and she's insecure because of that. It's no way to be a secure woman and know that your man does not make you a priority. It's no way. You can say that you're secure, but then you know the next woman that comes in your face, you know that she might have had a piece of what your man has. That's a horrible life. Slinging that oak tree all over. The oak tree is everywhere. And as a result, you have a very broken, insecure woman.
It's tough. Like, a lot of times we want the attraction, but, and realize everyone's attracted to it. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that comes with it, sometimes, a lot of times.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that being tough. That door swings both ways.
Oh, sure. I've been around a guy whose wife is cheating on him. He's insecure too.
Right. Or you guys that the IG models and all the popular, people and that everyone's attracted to, you want it, but there's a level of are you really prepared to deal with what comes with that? The inboxing, the whole thing. And it's not to say all those people cheat, but can you even deal with that level of it that everybody wants them, or a lot of people want them? And it's a tough thing. I just hope that eventually, hopefully some of this stuff you do outgrow, and can you? Absolutely. Could it be a phase for men? 1,000%. But at the same time, before you enter, you have to find it. I'm not saying a total level of security, because you're going to have to lean on them from security from them, but self-security.
Yeah, I think self-security, self-awareness, self-confidence is something you can have. But I think another thing, when you get with a person, when you become married or you're in a relationship that there's a soul tie, that person's actions can affect your sense of self.
It could.
So you have to be very careful who you allow to have that type of access to you. Edna says when you truly love someone, you give your undivided attention. And I think that's true. I think that undivided attention to, if something is bothering them, is something bothering you. But for somebody, I remember, this is how I knew that me and this guy were not meant to be together. If I was hurt, he would just go to sleep. And I was like, okay, so he doesn't care if I'm hurt. He is able to, not care. He does not engage. He doesn't want anything to do with it. So that means he's not really caring about me.
Can I tell you something I noticed that happens? I don't know if this happened in your situation, but I do know what happens is everybody's worried about thinking the other person is not committed. So if the person brings themselves out there to say or act as if, they feel like they're vulnerable now, and the person might do something to me. So no one ever really, you're in the situation where no one wants to give it up. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Even though they might feel that way. I've even been in that. And nobody wants to really, really give it up and say what it is, because they're playing cool or being super protective, right?
Yeah.
And because that's what it is. I mean, love is the most vulnerable emotion that you could ever have. Because
it is. It really makes you vulnerable to that person. And that's why, like, people say, Cat Williams has this funny stand-up where he says, well, how can I affect your self-esteem? It's esteeming yourself. That's true. But when you allow a person access to your heart. That's why the Bible says, guard your heart, for within it are the well springs of life. That person does have the ability to hurt you, and they do have an ability to affect your sense of self. And that's why we have to be very careful. That's why I tell women, you have to be careful who you allow access to your body, right? Because it's not really, to me, the fact that you would lay down with somebody and then be mad that he wouldn't pay $40 to get your nails done. And I don't know who's getting the nails done for $40, because that is not the prices here in Atlanta.
That was the 90s prices.
That was like, she said $40. Like, girl, where you live at? What you getting done? A polish change? But I mean, that's a problem. You shouldn't even have been. And that's what I say in a lot of them groups. I'm like, you had no business laying down with a man that doesn't make you feel protected. Now, I admit we've all done it. We've all done it. But I'm just saying, moving forward, if we want to protect ourselves and be good stewards, then you have to make sure that you don't give anyone access that doesn't deserve it. And I tell women, like, if you wouldn't loan him $5,000, why would you lay down with him? Because if you think more of money than you think of your body, there's something wrong with that. Something wrong. Like, you should not sleep with anybody that you would not give a large amount of money to. It doesn't make sense.
And Gail gave that man, what she get that man, $8,000 something?
Gail?
Remember that story she said, and she stopped talking to him? He paid it back, but she cut the relationship.
Oh, yeah, she did. Somebody else, that was Jennifer Lewis, that had got scammed.
Yeah, the gym guy. Yeah.
Yes, Jennifer got scammed. Yeah, women, I show it just, you can be a fool. Everybody plays the fool sometimes.
Sometimes.
How do we play the fool and then not give up on love?
That is the $5,000 question, $500,000 question. That's a tough one, man. You could baby step it to death, and they could run some people off, and the serious person can think you playing on both sides. That's a tough one, man. All of it's a roll of the dice. One of the few things that I could say is that just watch before, anybody can say anything, but to sit there and watch. And then there's this thing that, are they being patient enough for you? Because you want to see. There's nothing wrong with that, but I don't mind if I genuinely like a woman, even if I'm spending money, but she's giving me her time, then I don't mind waiting on the sex. I'm cool. You know what I mean? I'm cool. But when it's the other way around and you're not sure and she's not feeding you and she's being distant, that's when it becomes, but because time is valuable. And especially when you get older, you realize you're really not getting this back.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Joda says she's married and he's single in the marriage. That happens all the time. In many marriages, there is a married person and a single person.
Yeah, that is, yeah. But I've also seen people who want to be married but move single. Because
that's good.
They've been doing it for so long. And they have to, moving around freely, they don't want to have to, because with the title comes responsibility, right? So, and accountability. So some people think it's a burden, or to be telling somebody, hey, I'm going out to brunch with the ladies. I'll call you when I get back. And some women, I'm not doing that because they've been single for so long. They think that that's a bad thing, or he's trying to control me or whatever. But for a man, that feels like, listen, and I'm not saying every time you go somewhere or every time you enter or arrive or leave, you got to make these type of phone calls or texts. But sometimes just for a man, it just makes me feel like, yo, she's rocking with me,
Yeah. And I think sometimes as a woman, I think both sides should do things just because. Like, for instance, if I know it's going to make my man feel good if I check in with him, then there's nothing wrong with me doing that. It's just to make him feel good. Just like if he knows that bringing me pink roses makes me happy, why wouldn't he just bring me some pink roses? Just do whatever to make that person happy. We just got to stop it. Just because everybody's operating on principle and nobody's operating on heart. And I think at the end of the day, we got to operate through our heart if we want that in return. Do you want a lot of principles? You can't sleep with principles. You can't be comforted by principles. We do want principles, but I'm just saying that I ain't gonna do that unless he does that. I'm not gonna do that unless she does that for me. Then everybody's at a standoff. But if you know your significant other, I challenge everybody today. If you're in a relationship, if you know that makes that person happy, that makes them feel special, just do something to make them feel special. It doesn't have to give you anything.
I like that, and yeah, and especially once we get past the point we rocking.
Yeah, like if you or it doesn't make any sense. Miss Hale said, "Bring me some Betsy Ann chocolate, and I'm good to go." See, everybody has a different thing.
Okay, learn your woman, man. Learn your woman
and learn your man. Everybody has to learn that. And again, sometimes you can give something without needing it doesn't have to have any. A lot of times we do stuff because we want a result. I'm going to get her flowers because I want some head that night. Well, sir, if you give the flowers, then you probably would get that. You don't have to do it for it. You do it because you want her to be happy.
And if he wants you to get the gooch, get the gooch. He might turn around and you got that girls trip cruise pay him and be like, look, I'm going to give you some money. You go ahead and pay this on the cruise. That's what I'm saying.
If that is something that is within your hygiene, if that fits your hygiene.
A lot of what we ask for, this is the kicker. A lot of what we ask for is free.
Hey, you there? So the only gift I want is to pay down my student loans. Okay. Hey.
A lot of what we ask for again is free, and we can't get.
It's sexual though. The gooch.
It's free.
Imagine if someone's down there going after the gooch, and then a week. Well, see that I'm just saying that's the fear. A week later, you hear that some other people have been down there in Gooch City. Now,
leading with fear. That don't.
I feel like I feel stupid.
You're leading with fear.
And then what position? Never mind. Do I need to be okay? Never mind. But yes, at the end of this conversation, always remember that providing and protecting includes more than money, and nurturing includes more than cooking. Because I'm gonna be like, well, I cook, okay, but that doesn't mean that that's all that he wants. And I do agree with you, Bossy D. That is how you get pink eye.
What the wrong? Obviously, if you with a man with bad hygiene, you pick wrong anyway.
Well, it's not about hygiene. That's just a very precarious place. And it could mean that you may slip a couple of centimeters. There's something else there.
All these excuses. See what I'm saying?
Just
excuses.
I'm just putting out warnings. Just
Hey, your man might not like that, but I'm saying if you got a man that does, he might make it special for you.
He may, as he should. And if you do what you need, but find out if that's what your man wants.
That part.
How should a woman find out what a man's needs are? Let's end with that.
Allow him to be comfortable enough to tell you without I ain't doing that. And the attitude, just listen. Don't make no faces, no interruptions. I'm not saying you got to do it or even accept it or whatever. I'm just saying allow him a safe space to tell you
what he needs.
That's it.
And vice versa. Tina Bree, I just want to address that. We do Grace and Gossip on Mondays. I had missed some because of obviously Italy, but we back. I did this week, and we talked about this week. I talk about Malcolm Jamal Warner, but we'll be back next Monday with Grace and Gossip. Yes, Gooch City. Yeah, I just everybody.
Time to go. You know what?
We know Mo is into the gooch, and Inelli Chopper. In case anyone knows who that is.
Just saying.
Hey, and different strokes for different folks.
You about to get up. I don't know what you've been doing.
What happened?
She said, I don't like to play in Dookie. What man are you telling?
I'm just saying there's only so much you can do to that area.
Man, clean your plate. Make sure you got a clean plate.
It is Christal After Dark. We need to get out of here. So Mo, we will be back Friday.
Oh, I can't wait.
Friday we'll be back. Guys, we're talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville. But we're preparing. Remember, now this Friday, we start our getting ready for Ready to Love.
Right.
So we need to go back through.
You're not doing Love and Marriage Huntsville?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing Love and Marriage Huntsville because we have to. Because
I can't wait. Woo.
Yeah, it's
hot. I was hot.
Yes, so Friday, tune in. We got some. We gotta go in. Love and Marriage Huntsville, and then actually no, we said we were gonna do that on Sunday.
What? I can't do nothing on Sunday. We never said that. I ain't agree with that. Nah, we never said that.
All right, Friday.
Let's do half and half. 1 hour, 1 hour.
All right, we'll set it up with we'll do two different things. So we'll do Love and Marriage. I mean, Ready to Love is not on until next week. Not Christal After Dark with that. First of all, y'all, they were giving me a hard time about my outfit on yesterday or the day before. No, yesterday.
I see you. I was like,
It was a skirt and top.
You looking all shiny and look like you was in the Garden of Eden. I saw you.
I wasn't in the Garden of Eden. I was out there. It was a top and skirt. It was not a bralette. It was not lingerie. It was not that. Nola says, Mo, do you like biscuits and gravy? I would say, yeah. I would vote for yes.
Is that a cold? I just want to make sure we talk about the same thing. Like real biscuits and gravy? Could that sound like some covert roast?
I think he really is talking about Are you talking? What is biscuits and gravy?
Yeah, let's make sure we're on the same page before I answer that.
Thank you, Jane and Ryan. Y'all, they were giving me the blues yesterday. Is that lingerie? I was like, it is not lingerie. Thank you, Miss Leo Brown.
I thought you came from an event.
No, I did Fox that morning.
I don't know. I know Gumballs probably saw that. He was like, y'all probably had a lovely evening.
Yes, but yeah, we'll do. I'll tell you what we'll do. We will do, because we won't talk about Love and Ready to Love for an hour, but what we'll do is we'll flash through with the singles so we make sure that we know.
There you go. I like that.
Not biscuits and gravy is booty and juice.
Now see you don't went see. No, we don't do that over. I don't do that. No,
nobody likes that. Nobody. Thank you, Edna. Yeah, that is all bad. That is all bad. Everybody, but you know what? I will say this. I think that you have to we'll end on this note. Women, make sure that your man has a safe space to share his predilections, things that he likes, things that he's into.
It's just sharing. You don't necessarily have to do them. Just hearing.
Right, he's just sharing. But I do think a man should feel comfortable sharing his desires.
And fellas, the same thing as far as her needs and her comfort, even with the provider and protector part, hear her out because every woman's standards are different. Find out what your woman requires.
Exactly. And also be open to hearing her feelings. I know that whenever men hear feelings, they're like, oh, but sometimes it's not that. If it's the woman that you're with, now not everybody. If you're dating men, if you're watching this and you're dating 5 different women, then no, you cannot worry about all 5 of their feelings. But if you have one woman that you really love, then make sure that she feels appreciated. Make sure she feels loved. There's nothing wrong with that. That actually makes you a provider and protector. And women, if your man, if he wants you to bathe him, be there with the scrub and the body gel.
I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of weird.
Well, I've done it once or twice, but it was an act of love. And I think a lot of times, how you say that men, when they get hurt the first time, it's hard for them to go back. I think women are the same way, because I was just the most loving, and then I learned if you love them, they can hurt you, so you got to take some of that back. So learning how to love from a place of being healed is huge, because sometimes if you're not healed, even being healed, it could have a scar, and it could be just difficult to be your true self. But most women want to love on the man that they're with. They do. They really do. Just got to make them feel comfortable. Put a ring on it. It's coming back. I'm not sure if it's the end of this year or the top of next year, but we will definitely be doing some commentary on that as well. Mo and I appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure you share this, because this has been a great conversation. Yeah. Like this, share, leave your comments. Leave your comments. Have you made people feel safe to share their desires? Are you have you experienced the type of intimacy that allows you to feel that comes from feeling truly comfortable and trusting your partner? I would love for women to speak about that, because I don't think that we explain to men enough that it's not always their skills, right? Sometimes it's me being comfortable and trusting you before we even get there.
The communication, I like that.
Yeah, so communication. Let us know in the chat, in the comments, and we will see you guys Friday at 10. As always, it's a pajama party. It's happening. We got a lot to talk about with Love and Marriage Huntsville. And now, don't come if you're going to be sensitive, because we're going to go in. We just need to go in and call a spade a spade.
There it is.
There's a video that I want to talk about that I sent you. That has to do with Love and Marriage Huntsville. I want to get into it. So we're going to do all that on Friday, 10 o'clock right here. We love you guys for watching, and we will see you then. All right. Have a safe and productive the rest of the week, and we'll see y'all Friday night.
Friday, y'all.